we're doing another trade deadline video. I expect the Cubs to sell at the deadline this year. They're kind of in between given their roster situation, but I do think they're going to sell, and Bellinger might be an option who's on the market. The Cubs are still pretty close to competing, but I think they're still a year or so out, and the Phillies could really use a right-handed bat and corner outfielder. Now, I know Cody Bellinger is not a right-handed bat, which we'll talk about shortly, but he does provide excellent defense, especially in center, and has the ability to play all three outfield spots as well as first base, which that part is kind of important because it would give you the option to keep Bryce Harper fresh every so often, not make him play first every single day right at the start when he's getting comfortable, getting used to it, and it's an insurance option if Bryce doesn't play well enough defensively, or just an option late in games too. We'll talk more about his defense in a little bit, but Bellinger just turned 28 years old on July 13th. Mutual option on his contract, meaning he's likely going to hit the market this offseason. Those usually don't get picked up. Should be treated as a rental in trade talks. Obviously, he had the MVP season. He was a superstar in his first few years in the league. Then he had the injuries and fell off the cliff, especially the shoulder problem. And this year with the Cubs, he is having a career resurgence. Really good to see. He honestly just looks like himself. I mean, he's swinging the bat with more violence, kind of like he was in 2019. He seemed a bit unsure of himself the past 3 years. And on the season, 63 games, 266 plate appearances, slashing 308, 365, 523, with 12 home runs, 35 RBIs, 26 extra base hits, 12 of 15 on stolen base attempts, and 51 runs scored. He's on pace to score 106 runs if he stays healthy. He missed about a month this season, and he's still on pace to score that many runs. Not only is he having a turnaround offensively, he's coming around to score a ton, and he's taking the extra base when necessary, and he's doing so successfully. He did have that knee injury, like I said, in mid-May, cooled off a bit before the injury. Maybe there was something going on there previously, and after he returned, it took him some time to get going. Now in July, he's hitting .453 with a 1.266 OPS, 5 home runs, and 13 RBIs in just 59 plate appearances this month. Yeah, his trade value is definitely skyrocketing right now. As for the fact that he's not a right-handed bat, he actually has kind of had reverse splits this year, hitting .350 with a 1.066 OPS against lefties and a .287 average and .798 OPS against righties. Advanced stats do kind of suggest that he may come back down to earth a bit in that department, especially versus breaking pitches that lefties are throwing at him. But the eye test still tells me that he's driving the baseball into the gaps versus them pretty often. And even if he comes back down to earth, he may still hit pretty well against lefties. In general, he could be a bit better versus breaking pitches as well, the curveball especially, but generally he's hit most off-speed and breaking pitches pretty well and is taking advantage of the fastball too. Just a small thing I want to see him improve upon is the curveball. Doing an excellent job fouling off pitches and getting the pitch he wants. He's hitting .285 with 2 strikes, and that's also a big reason his K rate is down to 17.6%, a dramatic shift from the 27.6% it was last year too. And his walk rate's also slightly up to 8%, so he's getting on base a decent bit. His whiff rate's down as well. It's down to 22.6%. So, I mean, look, it's not just he's fouling off pitches too, it's that when the pitches are in the zone, he's not missing them anymore like he was in years past. Maybe he's not lighting up the exit velos or the advanced stats, but he's driving the baseball into the gaps. And I think that's going to do him well moving forward, because even if he's not hitting the baseball super hard, he's coming up with a fundamentally sound swing, fundamentally sound approach too. You can also only imagine how many belly bombs we would see with the right field fence at Citizens Bank Park. That would be unbelievable. So I think it'd be really fun watching his approach to the plate. Defensively, he's a Gold Glove winner. He still plays really well patrolling center field to this day. 23 career outs above average, just in center field alone, that is, not total career outs above average in the outfield. 13 career outfield assists, and he hasn't played much left field since 2018, so my guess is he may stick in center if traded, and then, you might move Marsh to left field and then Schwarber to DH if that was the case. He doesn't always get the best jumps in center, but they're also not bad jumps either. I think with his speed and his routes to the baseball, I think he'll be just fine. And I mean, look, I think Marsh played tremendously in left field last year in LA, and I think he could do the same here in Philly if he needed to. And look, overall, Bellinger's just having a really, really nice bounce back season. Very impressive. I would definitely welcome this acquisition, but I think he may be expensive for a rental given how well he is playing, especially as of late. I certainly would love if Dombrowski pulled this off, and maybe a package of him and someone like Kyle Hendricks would make sense. Stroman and him would be really expensive. I don't think that would happen, but we will see. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Cody Bellinger. I really would welcome this a ton, but I think it's a little bit unlikely. That being said, I think it would make a lot of sense, even though he's a lefty. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Thank you for watching. God bless, and ring the bell. Peace.